Welcome to Loboe News Nation, as we say goodbye with our final broadcast of the year.
For our junior class trip to Washington, D.C., we brought back some of the sights and sounds of the East Coast.
Besides the Beltway, we also took in Baltimore as well as baseball.
Did you know that the largest tourist attraction in Maryland is the National Aquarium?
Ivy Jacobson and Addie Waldy report on the National Aquarium located in Baltimore's Inner Harbor.
Welcome back to Loboe News Nation. I'm Addie Waldy, interviewing Trace McGoy. He was a fellow junior that went along for the DC trip. Trace, what was your favorite part from DC?
My favorite part from DC was probably riding the scooters with the boys.
What was your favorite place in DC?
The aquarium, probably.
What was your favorite part about the aquarium?
The sharks.
Anything else?
And when all the boys went to the gift shop and got squid hats. Squid gang for life.
Hey guys, it's Addie.
And Ivy.
We went to the aquarium in Baltimore and saw a lot of cool things.
We saw jellyfish, starfish, turtles, and a lot of scary fishies.
Especially this catfish.
We also saw this pink fluffy anemone.
And here is the aquarium. We had a lot of fun. And see you later, alligator.
Hi, I'm Ivy Jacobson, and I'm interviewing Owen Lesko about the junior class trip to Washington, D.C. What was your favorite meal in D.C.?
I really liked when we went to eat at the Melting Pot. It was a place where we got to cook our own food in front of us, and we had a huge table with burners, and we got to cook all sorts of food that they gave us. It was really cool.
The most interesting sight to see in Washington, D.C.?
I really liked when we had our tour of the Capitol. The guide there was really good, and we got to go see a lot of famous rooms in there, and my favorite room was the Rotunda with the big dome in the building.
What was their reaction when the door shut on you at the Metro?
I was kind of freaking out. The door clamped on my leg and stained my pants with the rubber claps. And then I turned around and I saw Juan was right next to me, and he was super cool, and I was freaking out kind of, but Juan helped me get through it, and then we ended up meeting up with everybody later on.
A trip to our nation's capital wouldn't be complete without honoring our national pastime.
Baseball was a mainstay in Washington for over half a century until the Senators moved to Minnesota and became the Twins.
Yeah.
Baseball returned to D.C. in 2005 when the locals welcomed the Washington Nationals.
Nick Meisch, Bailey Kelly, and Savannah Steffes covered the juniors' big day in the big leagues.
On April 6th, we went to Nationals Park and watched the Nationals play the Phillies.
My time was very good. I feel like we all had a lot of fun. We had a lot of unique experiences, and we just made memories together.
Get out, ball!
After a long day of sightseeing, we were excited to relax and watch one of America's greatest pastimes.
First, he does go. Pitch is hit in the air to right field. That's going to drop in, and it gets by Lane Thomas. It's going to go to the wall. Real Muto will score. Bohm's around second, heading to third. Dusty's going to hold him there, and the Phillies are on the board.
Former Nationals player Bryce Harper still hearing boos all these years later.
2 outs. So 2 out, and you hear the reaction for the former National Bryce Harper. High fly ball, right center. Yards playing big here.
As you know, Washington, D.C. offers tourists a variety of sightseeing opportunities.
Brooklyn Braun and Sydney Hyde were busy keeping up with everything that was on the agenda.
The Lemoore High School juniors took a class trip to Washington, D.C. in April.
Today we have Carrie Mart here with us. What was your role on the D.C. trip?
I had the opportunity to be the chaperone for the junior class this year.
Have you ever been to D.C. before?
I have not, no.
The first day of the trip, the juniors went to the Smithsonian Museums. First, they visited the Museum of Natural History. Then they visited the U.S. History Museum.
They also went and visited the National Museum of Modern Art. To get around DC, the juniors took the metro. But one day we had a mishap.
How was the experience missing the metro?
It was a little scary right away, but it wasn't too bad.
Was it traumatizing? Juan, were you scared? No. Day 2, we went to Arlington Cemetery. While we were there, we got to watch the changing of the guard. What was your favorite part of being on the DC trip?
My favorite part was seeing all the historical sites, things I'd seen in pictures or in books, and I had never seen them in person before, so it was fun.
When asked, some of the juniors would definitely tell you that their favorite part of the trip was riding around on the electric scooters. At the Lincoln Memorial, the weather was not great, and one of our classmates asked someone how they felt about it.
Okay, what do you rate this weather on a scale of 1 to 10?
A 0.
Absolute.
When the rain cleared up, we went to the White House.
We're so gallantly streaming.
There we saw a protester who had been there for over 20 years.
On day 3, we went to Gettysburg and saw a cyclorama and got a tour of where the battle took place. After Gettysburg, we went over to Baltimore and got to walk around Fort McHenry. While we were in Baltimore, we also went to the National Aquarium.
On the last day of the trip, we went to the Museum of the Bible. At the museum, we did a story of the Bible walkthrough. We walked through the Old Testament. Here is a clip from that. The junior class also went to a Washington Nationals baseball game. If you were asked again, would you say yes to go on the DC trip?
Definitely.
The DC trip has been a favorite memory for many Lemoore High School graduates.
It was our pleasure to share our experience with you as these soon-to-be seniors sign off for the school year.